Hello, Namaskar. I'm Sudhir from VNN, and we'll be talking today on the election manifestos, which has not been yet declared, but there are statements from the three leaders who came up, and we'll be talking about them. But before that, I want to introduce you with our guest, Mr. Praveen Verma. Namaskar, Praveen ji.
Thank you.
And our second guest is Mr. Arvind Bhardwaj. Namaskar, Arvind ji.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Let's start the discussion on the issues with the three leader statements. What in the this week basically have came out from all three leaders, and what they're saying is what their ideas are in terms of viewing the electorate.
Yeah. Ji.
So it is very interesting and important for us to see from both of your perspectives. At the same time, we should ask our viewers also, what do they think? So the first statement I'll talk about, the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Trudeau, noted his government's effort to improve the lives of the workers, pointing the money spent on skills training and legislation to protect collective bargaining rights. Among other things, Canadian workers are the backbone of the country's success, he said. We will always stand up for the workers and their families and make sure they have the support they need to succeed today and tomorrow. This is the statement on Labour's Day our Prime Ministers have given. And then what Mr. Scheer has said, Scheer focused, however, on celebrating the labour movement. When Canadians succeed, our nation prospers. He said on the Labour Day, and he said, I encourage all Canadians to reflect on our nation's past, to celebrate the hard workers you know, and welcome new Canadians who have come to Canada. And then the third leader from NDP, Mr. Jagmeet Singh, he has made a pitch to the union workers Monday, promising that if his party forms a government, they would be bringing in legislation to end the ability of the companies to replace striking workers with a temporary employment. He also promised to immediately raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour and ensure better protections for contract workers. This is what you get when you get a new Democrat, Singh said. During an event on Monday morning in Toronto before he headed to Hamilton, you get someone on your side. That was his saying. So I would come first to Praveen Verma ji. You have heard all three leaders saying on the Labour Day their specific statements. So what you would like to say first about our Prime Minister, Mr. Trudeau?
One can talk collectively about all three statements because they were done on a specific day, Labour Day. And they were done in a place which is considered to be a labour land where the majority of labourers in that area. So the statements are coming naturally from the Prime Minister's side and the NDP side because both are parties which are supported by the Labour. That is the heartland, that is the vote bank.
Yeah.
The problem is between NDP and Labour as to who sort of garners more of that share. Whereas Andrew Scheer's position is of a different thing. What he needs is that how much he can take out of both these people's share. So all these three are basically trying to woo the labourers.
Yeah.
And they want to give them all the benefits within their manifesto, which they are likely to announce soon. But it is all to promote the lives of the labour class people. And as we all know that the heartland, the main economy and the political strength of a country comes from the labour part, labor unions and the labourers and the middle class, which forms the basic strength of the economic development of the country. So all these three parties are appealing to their labour constituency to vote for them for promises which they are now slowly articulating. It has come now, but ultimately it will come in the manifesto and the final debates which will happen between all these.
अरविंद जी आप क्या कहेंगे?
Well, I think the impact, as Vermaji has said, of course, it was on the Labor Day, and naturally they were speaking about the working class. But I think the impact of vote bank in Liberal Party will be more, because working class is mainly from the new immigrants and people who have come on different refugee bases, or maybe on other terms and conditions of citizenship of Canada. So I believe that impact of Trudeau's appeal or the speech will be more than NDP's doing or Conservative parties addressing to the working class. So the working class will be more attracted towards the Trudeau's speech, what he is saying, rather than Andrew Scheer and NDP.
So it means Prime Minister Trudeau's speech will be more effectively
More
taken,
effectively taken by
and
the working
conversion
class.
of the seats
Yes.
or the votes,
The vote banks, yeah.
vote bank will come
Yeah,
to him.
will come to
That
him.
is his constituency.
That's his
That is
constituency. That is
constituency.
his
That
vote
is where
bank.
his votes really
His
come
votes really
from.
comes from, yeah.
Canadians will be asked this fall to choose between the moving forward with the Liberals or getting ahead with the Conservatives. As what we know, they're the two main parties which probably will be fighting for the election, as what we have discussed last discussion. Right? The ruling Liberals have settled on choose forward as their official campaign theme. A part of their bid to cast the election as a choice between building on Justin Trudeau's record of his weightage or his strengths, or rolling back to choose or clock to the sea of the Stephen Harper's Conservative. So this is a choice between, when we are saying choose forward is the slogan for the Liberal.
Liberals.
Whereas in the meanwhile Conservative have settled it, it is time for you to go ahead. So where Liberal is saying choose forward, Conservative is saying it is time for you to get ahead with emphasis on you, as opposed to the wealthy corporations and high-priced lobbyists whom leader Andrew Scheer maintains have gotten ahead under the Trudeau government. And let's talk about, very interestingly, what Mr. Singh says. Mr. Singh is saying, Federal New Democrat, they have settled on in it for you as their English slogan for the federal election campaign.
Yeah.
So there are
Fresh
three campaign came from three different parties. So what you say and what you see in these three party statements. First is the choose forward. Second is it's time for you to get ahead, where you is basically emphasized, and then in it for you by the NDP.
These are slogans, and they really don't mean much without the manifesto following it. Basically, Trudeau wants to present himself as a person who wants to move ahead, and he aims to get the maximum out of what has achieved now, and what he sees what the previous Conservative governments could not achieve. Scheer wants to sort of emphasize that we move ahead in the sense that Trudeau has not been able to move ahead. If we say we move ahead, that means the other person has not moved ahead. So basically these are slogans. I can't say much about the NDP because I don't think they are in a great race to really come at power. They can only become the minority supporter of the government at whatever seats they get.
If required.
I don't know what their limit. Some people say he might lose his seats this time anyway.
Let me put it another way. When the ruling Liberals have settled on choose forward, so they want to forget the past, what they have done?
Yeah. They want to move forward from all the decisions they have taken.
There will be many who want to they would think that
They,
way.
yeah.
There are many who would
They
think
better
that
move
way.
forward. It's good for them.
I just wanted to ask your opinion. I mean, does this mean that too?
Maybe. It could be. It could be. It could be interpreted.
It's good for them.
It could be interpreted that way.
So they are talking about SNC.
They're talking about SNC, they're talking about India visit, they're talking about foreign relations, they're talking about GDP, they're talking about relations with the USA.
They're talking
They want to
everything
move
which they
forward
could not
from.
do.
So they want to
they
forget the
want to
past
forget the
Yeah.
and
past.
choose forward.
Choose forward, yeah.
So this is what you think will be a meaning out of this?
Slogans don't have any. Slogans are meant to.
On a lighter note, the conservatives, they have said it is time for you to get ahead. So means we were like what? Not moving
We
at
were-
all.
we were
are just
stagnant or we were behind,
or we
both
are
of them.
just moving backward, or like
Yeah.
what does it mean?
Somewhere somebody from the other side of the fence said, find ahead, that means they still don't have a leader. Ahead. So,
But their emphasis is on you. They're saying you.
they
to
are,
get ahead.
I'm talking about the detractors, not about them. So again,
I
it's
mean,
a
the other
matter of
people are saying,
interpretation.
let's move ahead. I mean,
Move
there is
ahead.
no leader in conservatives, they mean to say.
Yeah, it is time for you to get ahead, is their slogan. So, on a lighter note, what we've been discussing, even what we have said about choose forward for the liberal as well. So, conservative means what? Which is they are emphasizing on you. When they are emphasizing on you, so means they have already went ahead without us, without the you.
Again, it's a matter of interpretation.
So, how this will be taken by larger population?
Population will go on manifesto. That is my heart and gut feeling.
Yeah.
Slogans are meant to sort of energize your own workers and constituencies in a larger way.
To warm up.
Yeah. Ultimately, the votes will come on when you present the manifesto, present your plan, and then how well you are able to mobilize your.
So NDP's slogan is what they have settled in for is in it for you. So as what their English slogan, what federal election campaign is, they're launching it with a new advertisement featuring leader Jagmeet Singh, saying it is different from the other leaders, not because he's the first visible minority leader of a major party and wears a turban, but because he does not work for the wealthy and well connected. Instead, he says he and the NDP believe that government should work for all of us. So their French slogans means we are fighting for you.
Yeah, they want to say that we are doing the service for you, and we are in here to look for your benefit and demands, which is a typical left party demands. The New Democrats will always say that.
So their extra slogan which says in it for you. So what is in?
No, I think they say that we are in it for you.
Okay.
My services are there for you.
Yeah. So but their description of their services so far has let NDP down in the percentage numbers that we were talking in the last discussion.
See, at this time, they won't like to accept this thing, that their percentage has been down due to Jagmeet Singh's strategy or even being his, party chief as well. So they are just trying to cheer up this thing, then they want to go on positive note.
And he has appeared without the turban in a picture which is being circulated all across. Specific if we talk in Quebec and then rest of Canada as well. What depiction a person like us or in the media or otherwise the larger population will take?
He has tried to dissociate himself from the religious and iconic figure which he had, wearing a turban. Wearing a turban made him distinctly as a person belonging to a particular minority and a person maybe looking for a particular vote bank or whatever it is. It's been, and then the problems which had come up in Quebec, that has again raised the issue of if the laws of the Bill 21.
Does that mean that he actually lost his the actual face?
No, not at all, not at all.
Changing his look.
I think
He
that
has given another image of himself.
I think Jagmeet Singh is playing the game with a different pack of cards.
With the emotions of the people?
With you see these cards, I mean, if he's playing like the kind of politics he's trying to play, it's a different pack of card he's playing with. It's these cards will not be applicable in Canadian politics sooner or later.
So you mean like he's playing the old
He's-
traditional
Yeah,
political cards, which is
yeah,
being played in the third world countries?
Yeah, third world countries, and and that is his market as well. So he's trying to woo them. He doesn't have any other aces in his pack. So whatever he's having, and on which grounds he's there at this level, he is expert in that, and he is playing with the same cards. So he won't play with the. I don't think he's playing with the Canadian card, though he's saying Canadian, but he's playing with a different pack of card. The game is different for him.
Okay, let's talk about the Green Party now. Green Party is campaigning on the slogan, not left, not right, forward together. So I have taken this Green Party slogan later on, after all three major parties as Liberal, Conservatives and the NDP. What does this mean? No left, not right, forward together.
I had told you in the last discussions also, we need to look at the Green Party. That is the party which is going to create the greatest upheaval, in my
Upheaval,
view,
change
during
overs,
this
yeah,
election.
during
Because
this-
today's Canada is very green positive. It's very environmental positive. And there are issues which have come on, environmental issues like this pipeline issue, where the parties are stuck. Development, environment, or energy. This is the basic discussion going on today.
That is a word word.
Yeah. But in Canada, you see, election time, what is the discussion?
Yeah.
Worldwide, Trump says no, nothing for environment. He doesn't. He has backed out from treaties and all that. So it's worldwide, in the developed world. What about the developing countries? It's a different story altogether. But here, the Green Party's appeal is to everybody, not the right, not the left. So therefore they say, not the left, not the right.
Forward together.
We are
Forward
forward
together.
together for the environment, for the country's environment, for the world's
And for the
environment.
next generations
For
as
the
well.
next generation. So they are working on a very smart
Yeah.
election manifesto. And this time with the younger voters and the new voters coming in, if they are able to get them into the booths, they will make a change.
And then interesting, point of view. But now let's talk about People's Party. People parties, they are plastered with the phrase "strong and free."
Free from whom? From the people?
I don't know.
From the Conservative
So
Party?
maybe the leader was free from the Conservatives. So maybe he's talking about that.
It's a splinter group. They will cut away their
They'll
votes.
cut away
That's
their votes,
their role. I don't see much importance in this stage in their relevance. Over here.
And then interestingly, the New Democratic Party is also using lines, quote, "on your side," unquote, and "New Deal for people" in the run-up to the campaign. So, on your side, a New Deal for people. There are two lines being used by New Democrat. I don't understand the meaning after they said, "in it for you." Their main this thing was "in it for you," which came up nationally, though they are also using "on your side" and "New Deal for people." How does this relate with these phrase?
With a party of not expecting more than 3-4% of seats, I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
don't
deal
think
with they
so.
give.
Yeah.
But
No,
then
they're 18% vote bank.
18%, how much it converts into seats?
Seats, yes.
Seats. That's the whole question.
I believe they still will be able to take 20 plus seats.
What is in it for NDP?
That could be on the lighter mode. Interestingly, there was few other things which happened politically. Some of the people, those who are working for, elected guy, though he's the Liberal MP from Brampton Centre, Mr. Ramesh Sangha, his recent comments were being highlighted in certain sections of the press. It may be print or television or whatsoever, in their own opinion and drifted from his personal party position. So this all started with the recent interview he has given to 5 App TV, a Punjabi language channel based in Mississauga, where Sangha was asked if his party had a soft corner for Khalistani elements, to which he agreed, but said the party stand was different from that. When Weekly Voice sat with Sangha to get the real story behind this story, what he meant exactly, he pointed out, I gave a video interview for a TV, but the style or the way I spoke was carried differently by media. Everyone has a separate opinion, and media and newspaper took them, the comments, in a different light, and I respect that because everyone has a distinct point of view. There are personal views, and I cannot tell them why they have those views, and also there is no need to question that. This is what Sangha said. Sangha also continued to say, I want to say this very clearly that my personal stand, that of my party and my Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, as a government, along with the caucus, we always talk about United India. So what you would like to say, Arvind ji, पहले आपसे पूछते हैं.
देखिए, the stand for liberal has already been like for United India after the India visit has been a thrashing thing for Trudeau government, and at this stage where India is aggressively lobbying worldwide, I think the liberals should be on this stand. But at the same time, I think when you're speaking in your local language or in a lighter note, especially in Punjabi, so things can change and you cannot literally translate Punjabi into
So
English.
interpretation could be different?
Interpretation could have been different for sure. I don't think Mr. Sangha is so irresponsible that at this crucial time that he'll give that kind of statement. Either ways, a statement of one or two MPs won't matter for the voting thing for the liberals, because this is concerning only Indo-Canadian community. So I don't think it's going to be it's just a warming up situation now. There was no other thing to pick up from ethnic media, and mainstream media picked up this. This was the very first issue which has came up. So I think we...
So you think this may go against like SNC effect? Which
I don't think so. This issue is going to be a major thing in coming.
No, but this has been the issue in the past.
The problem is that this is the only issue in when we are starting, all the parties are starting the election things. This is the only issue which I believe that has been created by translating Punjabi lingo in literal English. So meanings will definitely change. So the matter will go in a couple of days, this way or that way.
What do you think, Mr. Verma?
I think I will agree with Arvind on this issue, because I know Mr. Sangha, and he's a thorough gentleman, and he's a nice gentleman, and he's not an aggressive politician. He loves to go along with everybody.
Yeah.
And giving an interview, I don't understand Punjabi very well, so as he says, there would be some changes or some interpretation problems. But he has made it very clear that his position and the party position remains that they support an undivided India. United India.
Yeah.
So we have to believe that, and at least I believe what I have heard him say.
Yeah. So my next question is, everyone has his own opinion, definitely, right? We cannot deny that. And the Charter of Rights gives us the privilege to express our views openly, which are within the legal confines of Charter of Rights. So, does
but
this...
Sangha is not an agitator or an activist.
Does this come under that?
No, he's a politician. He's a party candidate. He has to take the party line.
No, but again, if I talk the other side, let's not talk about Mr. Sangha's side, let's talk about the other side. So because of their slogans for the Khalistanis, so they are using that same thing to express their views or opinion, or asking or demanding Khalistan?
I didn't get your point.
The expression of the rights, which give us the privilege to express our views openly, which are within the legal confines of the Charter of Rights.
Yeah, you can as a candidate ask for votes with this manifesto saying that okay,
Yeah.
I support A, B, and C, and you give me vote because of this. I haven't seen any candidate on that line. Even Jagmeet Singh, who has at times taken this position,
Yeah.
does not put in his election manifesto. It's entirely different, or rather, election slogan. So that is treading a very difficult line and a very dangerous line when you do that, because then you have the world watching it. Sovereignty of a country which is cannot be compromised.
Naturally.
I can say that I have people in this room who don't agree with me. Fine, they're not agreeing with me. But if he's sitting with me as my colleague, then I have a problem. So freedom of expression is a perfect right. It is there in India. It's there in all the countries,
Yeah.
democratic countries, developed or undeveloped, underdeveloped or developing. But and freedom of expression is there. But then that cannot be a part of the establishment and established party line, an established government line, and as a position in the international community.
So it means I couldn't say, so whatever or whoever give comments on a certain issues or issue, it is their personal opinion. Other members have their own personal views
Until unless
in
he-
favor or against.
Yeah, until unless the guy is not spokesperson for the party.
I'll
Maybe
tell
it's,
you, I'll differentiate this way. As far as my personal view at the Canadian politician is that if somebody gives a slogan, like your office is here, somebody comes outside and puts up a flag and says, I support this, I support this, I support this, there's nothing wrong. But if you have the same gentleman sitting in your office and talking to you, and you have a photograph and you put it up in another paper, there is a big problem.
Yes.
So that is where the Canadian politicians have to be very careful about, which they have not been careful in past.
Yes. And Sangha may be knave.
Sangha is
He has worked with Indian forces, so I don't think so. His integrity is.
So though anyway, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and their party and the government has always supported United India, Akhand Bharat, and will ensure to enhance the Canada-India-Canada relationship, whatever the essentials needs are with the new government forming, which we have discussed last time. Liberals have highest chances of forming the government again.
higher chances.
Higher chances.
chances.
Higher chances. That's good. Thanks for correcting me. So with this and positive note, आप सबसे I take विदा, आपको नमस्कार करता हूँ, बाय बाय करता हूँ, और प्रॉमिस करता हूँ अगली बार फिर से मिलेंगे मेरे इन दोनों गेस्टों के साथ, परवीन जी के साथ और अरविंद जी के साथ, to discuss the politics, Canadian politics, and maybe Indian politics also. So thank you again. Thank you, Parveen Verma ji. Thank you, Arvind ji.
Thank you.
And namaskar
Thank
sabhi
you.
ko.